It's Punk Rock Talk. How's everybody doing? My guests today are going to be Acidez. I'm so excited to interview these guys. Right now, you're listening to In Punk We Thrash, the title track for their new record. It's on our Spotify playlist, Rebellion Noise 2022. Follow us on Spotify. We update that playlist every Monday. There's some great tracks on this week's playlist. And we update it with different music each week in correlation with who we're going to interview here on Punk Rock Talk. So not only are there a few tracks from Acidez up on this week's playlist, some other really great bands like The Hack from Canada. The Havoc has a new track up there, a re-recorded version of We Want the Truth. It's finally on Spotify, so check that out. And some throwback stuff on there. Damage Case, one of my all-time favorites. We got them on the playlist this week. If you've missed an episode of Punk Rock Talk, don't worry about it. They're on the Havoc's YouTube channel. The latest episode is uploaded every Thursday, so this episode will be uploaded tomorrow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications of whenever we are posting new content there. Not just these episodes, but whatever else we post there. The first time I heard this track, I just kept smiling over and over. There's so many rad influences in this one song, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to talk to the guys about it. If you have questions for Acidez during this interview, tap that question mark icon on your screen. Don't put it in the comments section. It'll get lost there. I never see them if they're there. The comments just fly by. So again, just tap that question mark icon on your screen, and we'll get to those questions at some point in the interview. Are you in a band? Do you need merchandise? Dead and Buried Inc. is your source. Here it goes again. Love it. Dead and Buried Inc. You can find them here on Instagram at Dead and Buried Inc. That's INC, not INK. Or online at their website, deadandburiedinc.com. Reach out to them for a quote. If you would like merchandise printed for your band, they can print just about anything. They also have merch for sale from certain bands, including the Havoc. So if you want some Havoc merch, deadandburiedinc.com is where you need to go. While we're talking about the Havoc, just for a second here, I'm going to show you guys that we've got a show coming up. Right there. We've got a show coming up at the end of this month in Los Angeles. It's the Return to Rebellion. It's on Friday, the 29th, in East LA. It's our first show in LA in 8 years. I'm super excited to finally play a show. I have not played a show in over 2.5 years at this point because of COVID and all that bullshit. I'm glad that is behind us. At least it seems that way for now. We got some great bands on this show. It's going to be so much fun. It's also a music video shoot. If you would like to be on camera, I encourage you to be there when doors open. Plus, you need to be there at that time anyway just to support all these bands that are going to be playing. All right. Make sure you stick around to the end of this episode when I will announce next week's guest. I'm excited for that episode as well. I'm always excited about these episodes. It's just so much fun interviewing all these people and talking about punk rock. Having said that, let's get right into it with Acidez. I am going to invite them to join right now. And again, for them, if you have questions, tap that question mark icon on your screen, and it gets put on a question mark icon on my screen so I can see whenever they get submitted. And then I can check those out and see if we can get answers for you guys. If you have not heard the title track for this new record, In Punk We Thrash, you really need to hop on Spotify and listen. There they are!
What's up?
What's up, Acidez? Hey guys, I just got to say before we jump into this that I'm really excited for this interview because this is the first interview on Punk Rock Talk we've done where the full band was able to be a part of it. So I'm really excited to be able to talk to all of you guys today. How you doing?
We're fine.
Perfect. Fine.
Good, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about. I think the first thing I want to say is just how much I'm enjoying In Punk We Thrash, the title track. It kicks so much ass. I've been a fan of you guys anyway, but what I really love about this song is not only am I hearing not just the street punk influence, but the thrash metal influence is so obvious throughout the song. But also the production quality of this is heads above what you guys have done in the past. It sounds so thick and full. The guitars are beefy. The drums are just really up front and pounding. I love it. You guys just did excellent work on this, man. I want to know so much about this record. So let me just ask first. I know you guys have been working on it for quite a while. Did COVID have a big impact on, the delay from the last record until this one?
Well, yeah, totally. Yeah, it fucked us. Those 2 years were really difficult for us, as a band and in everything. I mean,
the beginning was that we have a lot of tours. We have been touring a lot, and we have time to practice and make new songs. Then the COVID came, and we don't have time to practice. So it impaired a little bit, yes.
Yeah, the lockdown was hard, and so we couldn't really practice and produce all the album in the proper way. But yeah, at the end we made it. But yeah, that's the reason why it was delayed. Anyway, we took many years because I don't know, we took 6 years. Yeah, we were lazy, or I don't know how to say it.
Nah, it's because touring too much and not time for practice new songs. Yeah. Actually, we have songs from 4 years ago. There is 3 songs in the new album. We made it 4 years ago, something like 5. 4, something like that. 17 or 12.
Yeah, but anyway, we took time because we wanted to make something much better. I don't know, to show more our skills right now. That's what we took time as well.
Yeah. How we grow up in these years.
Yeah.
Well, the maturity on this record, just from the title track, is obvious. You guys have always been a solid band. There's no question there. But this track is so tight, and it feels like the chemistry as a band and kind of the evolution of the band is really on display with this track. Are all of the tracks on this record similar in that regard, where there's, kind of this mashup of street punk and thrash together?
Yeah, of course, but anyways, not all the album like that. I mean, we have like a
it's a mix of thrash, street punk,
D-beat.
rock and roll, D-beat. Yeah, it's all the things we like. So it's like we have some thrash punk, some street punk,
Yeah.
some more slow like D-beat, rock and roll.
You're gonna find a lot of influences on this record. Like for example, and there is special songs that is totally Acidez from the early years, like totally street punk. There is some Acidez songs with no trash, only like street punks in like 2-3 songs in this new album. But you're gonna find a lot of surprises. Yeah.
I'm really excited to hear the whole record. I don't think it's any mystery that I'm a hardcore metalhead. Anybody that knows my history knows that, metal is a huge part of my life, as well as punk rock. And listening to In Punk We Thrash, I heard all these different bands that remind me of what I would call like classic thrash. There's like a moment where it's Megadeth, a moment where it's Slayer, a moment where it's early Metallica. But then all of a sudden it's right back to street punk and kicking your ass with the up tempo. And not only that, but the vocals. I hear the grit and the rawness in a really good way with the vocals, somewhat deeper, I think, than previous records. And I'm sure that's just, again, part of the maturity. But I know that last year you guys were working a lot on this record. And then there was a moment where you paused and you were like, I think we can do better with vocals. And you guys went back in and attacked it. And from what I hear, the delivery is definitely there. So hats off to you guys for that. It sounds great.
Yeah. I have to record and then to record and record and then to delete it and then to record and record until it's the final product. Yes, that me and my band members are okay.
Well, going back to the chemistry that's obvious on the record, Tuba, you and I have talked a lot over the past year, and one of the things that I came to learn about your band, about the band, that I think is fantastic is you guys have been friends for a really long time, and you value your friendship more so than the success or the business side of the band. And I think that comes across really clearly. Like I said, just even in this title track. Tell us a little bit about the history of the band and, before the band, the friendship and how everything came together for you guys. Who met who first and how did it all come together?
Okay, how we can start?
Juan,
I don't know. I think let's start by Juan. Yes.
Yeah, like actually in 2003, I started like the band with some friends of the school, but was not so solid. The lineup was like someone left the band, someone in, someone out. But like 1 year after, 2 years after is when Rodo and Soti enter in the band. So in this moment is when like the consolidated and we spent a lot of years with the ex-singer Carlos, but at some point we took different ways. So Tupa was the friend of us, like was like the one of the biggest fans of the band as Acidez.
Was it Rudy?
When we started to think about to leave, to change the singer, because we we felt like was like a stop, like this guy was stopping us. So
It was a cunt, a fucking idiot.
when we invited Tupa, was like a refresh to the band. So we start to have again the friendship. So we start to make the new. Actually, was in the middle of the recording of the second album. Don't ask for permission. Like the ex-singer left. Like the music was already recorded, so Tupa entered just directly to record, and was like we say, oh fuck, it's amazing the voice. So from this point till now, we were like going up, yeah.
But taking it back, as you say, like in the friendship, like for example, myself, I met Tupa in the high school, and as well at the same time I met Roro, and we start to want to the gigs and everything, like to make the punk scene and everything. So we met Juan and all the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
So
We had me and Soti had a band that we used to play rehearsal in his room besides his bed. And I didn't have a microphone. I sing like this. But we had a band, we had a band. And then me and Rob as well.
2005. Do you remember this big tour, the Casualties tour, Mexico, on the Frontline Era album from the Casualties? They came to Mexico. They play in this city, 2005, and Acidez played there without nobody of us.
Just one. Yeah.
Just Juan and other guys. And I saw Acidez for first time in that show, and I said, "Oh my God, I need a band like this." So 3 months after, I joined the band because I meet this guy. So this is my history. How
But was a cool thing because we were friends before that. So at some point was the Messenger, the Windows Messenger, Microsoft Messenger. I don't know which.
Yeah,
So we were, and Rodo told me like, oh, I saw you guys and you play really good. So do you need some bass player in the band? And I say, no, we already have a bass player. Okay, you need a second guitar maybe? Let me see, I'm gonna tell to the guys. So I tell to the guys and the guys say, oh yeah, okay. So Rodo arrived and automatically we fit.
Yeah.
So at some point Acidez had the 2 guitar players, but at some point one left, so Rodo stayed, and after Soti entered, just a few months after.
Actually, in that time was when I was playing with Tupa in that band that he told you. And Roro hear about I was playing the bass, so he told me about to join the band, and everyone was like agree with it. And yeah, I accepted. And
yeah, and actually when they were in that lineup with the previous singer, me and Rolo as well have a project of like kind of thrash band project that we never play, but we rehearsal with different members. That came with they invite me to the band because they know that I want to have a band. That it was my fucking dream,
Yeah, and he had the skills to
yeah, like that's why when Rodo, like we were thinking which guy to invite to the band. So Rodo was playing with this project with Tupa. So he said like, oh, he sings really good, so maybe we can try him. So we invite to one rehearsal and was good. So we say, and he already knew the songs, the lyrics. So
it was easy.
So it took me a few months to rehearsal and then got to the studio
directly,
straight to fucking studio. Less than 1 year, maybe.
Well, it's definitely paid off because this version of the band has definitely been going strong, and you guys have built up a really big social media presence. You've done a lot of festival dates as well as touring, And I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments section here say, come to France, come to Malaysia, come to Peru. And you guys have really been, all over the world at this point, right?
Yeah, we can say it.
All
Not
Europe.
totally all, but yeah.
Well, actually, Malaysia, we want to be there. Like, it's the part, like, all the South Asia, Southeast.
Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia.
Yeah, all Asia. I mean, we are missing Asia at this point.
Yeah.
Some countries of Latin America, some from South America, and
Like
as well.
Argentina, Chile.
Yeah, we're gonna actually that's something we're doing with this new album. We're gonna make a tour in Brazil and South America by the end of the year on November. So maybe we can visit new countries like Chile or Argentina, Uruguay or something like that. We are working on it.
Yeah, we're trying to expand for what we're doing and where we are gonna play. And yeah, we're really excited as well to go to, like they say, to Indonesia, all those parts, because we know we had a lot of.
I don't care if I don't fucking earn a penny, but I want to be there and live the fucking experience, you know? We have a lot of fans. There's a guy who tattooed his face the other day. With
Saw that shit.
My God. My tattoo is this big, man. That guy is in the whole of his face. He giving a patch, you know?
I actually look in internet a tattoo in the face from Metallica or Acidez. I didn't find, but there is one Acidez in the face.
Yes, we are definitely going to Asia. In the future,
yeah, we are trying to find the perfect one or correct promoter. Yeah, someone who really can like support us to do this dream come true, let's say.
So you guys have a documentary out right now that's called Acidez Attacking Festivals.
Yeah.
And it shows various festivals that you've played. And I just got to know, what has been your favorite festival to play and what country to play?
In Extreme, Czech Republic.
Czech Republic?
Peru. Actually, all the festivals in Czech Republic are badass. Yeah.
In Germany as well.
Yeah, there's really great in everywhere, but the greatest one that or myself, I can say it's all in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peru and Obscene Extreme, we can say. Yeah. In Europe, because we also play in one festival in Colombia to 90,000 people.
90,000.
Rock al Parque. Yeah, that was like the biggest one. The biggest and the big experience that we have for that kind of show. We know that maybe we're not gonna play again that kind of show like that big, but it was a really great experience to at least, to feel it one time. It was
and to
great.
see all the people, all the 90,000 motherfuckers getting crazy and making a fucking different mosh beats and cycle pits, like 10 different cycle pits around, It was so fucking amazing.
But the funny thing is my favorite is this in Czech Republic, the Podparo, because it's like we've been able to spend not just the day we play, like the 1 or 2 days before in all the festivals, so we had the chance to meet the people, to get totally wasted. Like, we have a really great stories, like Rodo fighting with the security.
We are not like guys from those bands
waking up like in the middle of nowhere, like
too much alcohol.
Too much alcohol.
We don't like to be those kind of bands who only stay in the fucking backstage. We go party, we go make new friends, we go fucking try new beers,
Actually,
make new friends.
Something funny happened about it, because the first time we went into the Podparo, they say we make a mess, let's say, because we were really excited. It was the first time we experienced a real punk, like a festival, not show, but a real festival. So it was too much for us, too much excitement. So the promoter was not totally happy with how we...
With our behavior.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but, we understand it. So the next time that he invited us, this last time we went, they were like, okay, guys, you're gonna stay here in the place you're gonna sleep, but just for today and tomorrow you need to go. And we say, you know what? We don't want to be there. We want to be with the people in the for everyone. Yeah, it's
the camping area.
In the camping area.
Yeah.
We don't.
We went there.
We need that. We can share our time with all the punks here.
Yeah,
it's much better.
So it's the third day of the festival. This last time, the third day is where we play. So we were totally wasted. Like I was like this, like shaking. But I said, "Oh fuck!" Like I'm totally was not hungover. Was I think one level more? I don't know. But was early. The show was like at 6, 7,
something like that.
So, and after we enjoy again drinking and all the. But it's really cool. These festivals in this. Pot Paru of Scene Extreme,
Track and Back was really great.
Track and Back, Mighty Sounds,
Mighty Sounds
Acidez from
Germany.
Germany.
Back to the
Back
Future.
to the Future.
Rebellion, of course.
Back to the Future where this guy met his wife as well.
Yeah.
So
I met my wife.
one of the
These guys.
Nice.
best festivals as well.
Well, like Sodi said a minute ago, you know, you don't think that you'll ever play another festival in front of 90,000 people, but I say never, man. You know, you never know what's going to happen. And I think one of the things that is so appealing about Acidez is that you're more of a crossover band than you are just a straight ahead street punk band or a straight ahead thrash punk or thrash metal band. I think it's that blending of influences that has made you stick out in a really good way. And, you know, a lot of those festivals too, like there's a lot of metal festivals that I think that you guys would fit in well on the bill, even if you don't sound exactly like some of the contemporary metal bands. But people appreciate that type of throwback, and especially when you mix it up, you know, with not just the street punk sound, but the street punk image, because it's eye-catching and it's a lot of fun to watch. That documentary that's on YouTube right now, anybody that's watching, if you haven't seen it, you should go to YouTube and check it out. How did that all come together for you guys? Had you planned it, or did just other people approach you and say, hey, we want to put together this documentary for you, or how did it come together?
Actually, we recorded everything, but Roto was the
I made it.
You edited it, Roto? You edited the whole thing?
It spent 2 years to make it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was too much material to edit. So I spent a lot of time, but I was happy. And tell about how you kind of learn. He learned a little bit when we made the first video, Mi Odio y Mi Rabia. It was like a side to the guy who was like doing it, editing it, and he learned about it. So he took the decision to make it.
Yeah, so from those documentaries, we only collect the videos from other fans as well, from people who shares the video, send it to Rollo, and he edited.
Videos from YouTube, videos from the festivals.
Yeah, we take our own cameras because we like to record not just the live, but the party.
When we're hanging out in the band.
Yeah. Actually, there is 2 parts of this documentary. It's part 1 and part 2. People all the time see part 1 because it is long. It's 45 minutes each part. And there is another documentary from 2014. I made it also about Europe tour. There is in YouTube the first one. The first tour and second one. Yeah.
Okay, so anybody that is watching right now or later, check that out on YouTube. It's called Acidez Attacking Festivals. It's really cool to see the band in action on different stages, that enormous stages, and even more enormous crowds. It's really awesome. Speaking of video, you guys have a new music video out for the title track that we've been talking about, In Punk We Thrash. Roto, did you also edit that one?
No. This was one guy from Mexico City. Victor Vera.
He made other videos.
He already worked with us in 2 or 3 videos before. He's the one who made this video, and he's the one who's making the 2 singles of this album coming out this Friday with the album.
The second single lyric video.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lyric video. He's making it actually with a lot of material from all of history. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I also want to talk real quick about the album cover. And I'm going to see if I can pull that up here for people. For people that haven't seen it. Let me see if I can. I believe there's a way to. Maybe not. I thought there was a way to where I can display it on the screen, but I'm not seeing that. Let me check. No, not that.
Remember, there is the front cover of the album and the picture from the single too.
Okay, sorry. I thought I could pull it up, but it doesn't look like that. Like I can, but the.
I can put in the phone of Rodo and just show in the camera.
Sure. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, the cover of the single, it's really, really cool and a little bit different from some of your previous artwork.
This is first.
This is one is the single.
It's the single cover, not really the. Well, it's really. If I can. Yeah, it's difficult.
It's kind of blurry.
Yeah.
This is the single one. Is like looks different because normally I'm the one who make the artwork, the covers and all. And this one is one guy from Brazil called Marcelo, Draw or Die, and he helped us with the. I love this fucking drawing. It's like.
That is a picture of the
Thrasher guy going out from the belly of one punk guy.
Boarding. He's boarding.
Yeah, like
aborting.
aborting.
It's like in Freddy Krueger. You remember that movie? Like,
yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
And this is the one of the. This is the actual cover.
Okay.
Looks totally
too much bright. Maybe.
There we go. That's better. Yeah.
cover of the album.
This is from this guy.
This is like our mascot we've been using in all the covers, and we try to mix like this is like in punk, like here is the punk and we thrash. So this is a thrash guy with some beer, with some ram skull, like with all the things we've been using. Like I try to continue the same line of style in all the covers. Sometimes to put some things, remember the last cover or the last covers.
Yeah, when I saw the artwork for the single, I was really impressed by it. Because the drawing is just so well done, but also the concept is cool. It's like you said, like it's like an abortion, basically. You know, there's this thrash metalhead coming out of the belly of this punk rocker, and I thought, man, that's just a really cool concept, and that drawing just illustrates it really well. But let's talk about the name for a second. In Punk We Thrash. How did you come up with that title, and what does it mean to you?
Like we saw this name like in grind, we crossed like and we fixed this like it's like a joke to the Catholic In God We Trust.
This is a poster.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be the poster from the live shows.
Very cool.
Sorry.
So that's why the idea, like we play punk, So we start to mix with the elements of thrash. So was simple, like In Punk We Thrash.
Yes,
like,
we had a different name for the album. We're going to name it different.
Okay.
But we realized that there are some other bands that has almost the same name. And then In Punk We Thrash is actually going to be the second song. It was going to be, I don't remember.
I think it represents.
And we say, okay, we can.
But you know, because in punk, in punk music, we thrash.
Yeah.
We make trash. It's like in grind we crust. You know this?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's something that really represents us and represents what we were looking for since the past. You know, we always been like really excited, and we always love like thrash metal music as well. We grew up listening all kind of like punk rock, street punks. I mean, we were really fans of your band, Havoc, different bands, Monster Squad, The Casualties. I don't know, all of the punkcore era and all those years.
Yeah, you were telling about Damage Case, like it's one of my favorite bands before. I'm lucky because I saw live in Dallas. Like I went just to see like this punkcore era.
But
like
yeah,
it's a big influence for us, but also the thrash, the old school and the new school. Like we have a mix of all.
Yeah, we've been since even since the first, not really the first album, but after that we start to like really put more stuff, like trying to put more stuff of thrash metal music in it. But I think what it caused the thing was the Beer Drinker Survivors album. Since that album, we really put everything in it. Like we really tried to do, because we love thrash. There was a new reborn of the thrash metal scene. It was like a new generation of thrash metal, so it was really cool to be with them. You know, we felt related with them. Yeah. Let's say.
Yeah, you guys mentioned Damage Case, and that was one of the bands that I was aware of before they were on Punkcore. They put out an EP. I think the name of the EP is Red Alert. One of the songs on there is called Red Alert. The EP is fantastic, but that band, the first time I saw them live, I was just blown away by how tight they were, but also they were incorporating these elements of metal into street punk. And vocally, it kind of reminded me of like Oxymoron, because it was melodic, but still aggressive. But there was a clear melody there that was hooky, so very memorable. And like guitar solos that were long, and like they'd use a wah pedal a lot. And like it was all these really cool nuggets of metal thrown into street punk, hardcore punk. And I've loved that band since the moment I heard about them. We played with them in Dallas one year. I think it was like 2002 or 2003, something like that. And, you know, there's some street punk bands where you hear like those, you know, those slight influences of metal. But I feel like there's a lot of bands that either don't want to attempt that, even if they are fans of metal, or they feel like, nah, like we just want to keep it street punk. But you guys, like you said earlier, you know, you just are not afraid to incorporate your influences, all the things that you like. And I have just so much respect for you because, you know, it's easy to get caught up in kind of an elitist mentality of like, no, that doesn't sound like street punk. It doesn't sound like hardcore punk, so we're not into it. Has that been frustrating for you? Like, if people have that kind of attitude towards your band?
Actually, the last singer, the ex-singer, we had this problem with this because when we tried to incorporate this new thrash style, metal style, he say, "Oh, I don't like a lot. Like I
He
want
forward
to."
the song to remove the trash until he skipped the trash.
Yeah, like when we
riffs.
record Don't Ask for Permission, he when we show him the music, like the first recordings, he skipped the part like of the trash or the breakdown, metal breakdowns or something like.
It wasn't that much, but he did. But you know, he also, talking about him, he also wanted to like stop making like totally street punk music and go not backwards, but let's say he wanted to make like more punk rock music, like
More melodic.
yeah, more melodic, more like soft, let's say. I don't know, maybe some kind of like rancid. That, I mean, it's great. No Effects, all those bands are great, but he was trying to emulate something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
See, like he didn't like the incorporate the new metal thrash sound. He say, "Oh, I don't like." So we were like, "Fuck," but we like. So what we can do? So with this thing, we start to have some problems, and you know, like,
Another bullshit inside. Yeah.
but
Well,
But with other
yeah,
people.
after that, the people like a lot. Like we have a really good answer of the people. So they say, "Fuck, it's really good." Like this mix of thrash and punk, and also this a little bit rock and roll, like Motorhead, NFC influence, like the rock and roller. I don't know. Like we try to mix, like as you say, like we are not afraid
all our likes.
to put all our influence in our music.
Yeah, exactly. All our
And
influence.
even as you say, like the street punk image that we have and everything, we kept it. But I remember in those early years, it was coming here in Mexico. I don't know in other countries, but here in Mexico, it was coming like the fashion of became a crusty or became a D-beat or whatever, you know, like more like that kind of stuff. And we of course like the music, we of course like the style, everything, but we didn't feel related about it, you know, like I don't know. It was I don't know. Yeah, we keep our the way we look, the way we like to show us as a punks. Like for us, it's like mohawks, spiky hair, you know, leather stuff, jackets, all that kind of stuff.
This is one thing. Like we are proud. I'm really proud of. After all these years, like I'm still like to make my mohawk, to put my studs. Like I don't gonna change even. Well, I hope I gonna be 70 or 80 years. If I have hair, I'm gonna make my fucking mohawk.
Hasta la muerte.
Till death.
Yeah, till death.
Yeah,
Punk
we
till
grew
death.
up with this image. If we are just talking about the style, yeah, we grew up like that. So that's what we like about punk. So to change it in another kind of look, and it was not too much. I mean, of course, we took some stuff from the trash style as well because we also like it. I mean, and we grew up, and you know, you change a little bit for some reason, but at the end, we kept that. You know, the punk look. It's punk look, like they say, punk dress punk.
Yeah. Actually, there is one song in this new album that talks about this. The name is Hasta la Muerte. It's
Like till death.
till death. It means like if you're gonna dress punk, it's gonna be till death. If you're gonna be punk, it's gonna be till death. If you're gonna drink beer, it's gonna be till death. If you're gonna, whatever you
Yeah.
are, it's still death.
Yeah, and we're not saying like it's a how to say obligation or
Commitment.
no. It's not something
Like
like you need to
obligatory.
do it. Like you need to do it. You know, it's optional. If you don't like to dress like that, it's okay. You can still be like a punk and everything. We are not saying that, you know. But for us, it was too much like that.
Yeah, dedication to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of the songs on this record, I mentioned earlier that the production value on this one sounds like it's come a long way compared to the older records. Did you work with a different engineer this time or somebody different producing it that kind of elevated the sound.
Yeah. We different studio, really not cheap one. It was really expensive for our how to say our profit.
Budget.
Our budget.
Budget, yeah.
Budget. Yeah, it was, but it's really nice. You know, the nice things. At the end, it's worth it. A lot.
Like the guy, the Domingo was a really good guy. Like he's so.
Dirty Box Studio. It's
Dirty Box Studio.
And he was, and the master guy is also one friend from us, and he's really good for mastering. And he's really like, how to say, like famous about mastering. He do mastering for a lot of Mexican hip hop bands, rappers. Yeah. He's a punk, and he did the master. And he has a great
Equipment.
gear. And this is why this album is gonna be like with better production than before.
Yeah, and actually talking about it, we were always like looking for the best we can do. Not like, I mean, there's people who say like, nah, it's not punk because it doesn't sound like shit, or like, they say it should sound like not that great. But for us, it's like, I don't know, it's a waste of time of doing something like that. I mean, if bands in the past were sounding like that, it was because there wasn't what we have right now, the facilities that we have. Yeah, like we don't pay like for this studio, let's say. In the past, we will pay like a bigger amount of money. It was super difficult to get something like that. But right now, it's more like closer into your hand. You can make it through.
Yeah, I've talked about this with almost every guest on here that's been in a band. The advancement in technology for recording has really come a long way, especially in the last 2 decades. And, when the Havoc, we recorded our first 7-inch, our full-length album, and our last EP, it was kind of the early days of Pro Tools and all that. And, you had to go to a recording studio. You had to pay a lot of money to be there. And if you were in there and it wasn't going well, it didn't matter. You still had to pay for that time.
Yeah.
Whereas now, the amount of money that you would spend in a studio in one day back then, you could use that same amount of money now to buy decent gear to record things yourself at home.
Sorry.
No problem. And so I agree with you guys. Like, yeah, there's kind of this, I guess, mentality in punk rock that if it doesn't sound, like quality production or whatever, it's okay. Like some people prefer stuff to sound more raw. Yeah. Which is fine, but for me, I'm like, fuck that. I want it to sound amazing.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why the Havoc has re-recorded some of our old songs. Like we just released Death Comes Fast not too long ago, the re-record of that. I hate the original recording of that song. I can't stand it. But
we love it. Actually, I want to talk about your band a little bit because it was one of my favorite punk core records bands. You guys, Casualties and Damage Case, yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
This song, Dead Come Fast, it was my favorite from the album because this was the first one. So you put I have not the original CD. I bought it like for 10 pesos in the streets.
Make in Mexico, they make the fake albums like you can buy in the market in the street,
right?
With
part.
So we buy in the beginning, but this year's was difficult. It was difficult to get it the original album or to listen online. So was one like we take one and we share to all the friends like, oh, I have to listen. So the other guy saving his computer. So, and
Yeah.
this was one of these albums, Dead Come Fast.
No, the album
No,
is
the album,
or Rebellion,
Rebellion
has
has just begun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Dead Fast is track.
yeah, Dead Come Fast is the track.
Yeah.
Well, I think we still have some CDs of that. I know we have CDs of Road Warrior, but I'm not sure if we have CDs of Our Rebellion's Just Begun. I'll find out at the end of this month when I join up with the rest of the band. But if we do, I'll make sure you guys get copies of it.
I have the LP.
Thanks.
I have the LP as well.
Oh, cool.
I got
Cool.
the picture this one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, when those got pressed, I made sure that I got a copy of each variant because I was like, I gotta have this shit. It's like too crazy to not have it. Speaking of vinyl, that's been a huge issue for all bands over the last year because of COVID and all of the the manufacturing issues. But are you guys, do you have a vinyl release set for this record?
Yeah. Actually, tomorrow are the news coming about the vinyl. But the fucking vinyl factories are taking fucking long to pressing.
Yeah.
So this is why it was impossible to go.
Yeah, like we wanted tomorrow, on Saturday is the release show, and we wanted to have the vinyl,
But no.
but was impossible because the vinyl takes more a really long time.
Yeah, it's gonna be ready in July.
Okay.
Europe tour Europe tour is gonna be ready, but this Friday, sorry, the CD is gonna be out in Europe and Mexico and China too. Only the CD, but yeah, this you can pre-order the vinyl in the web page from our label, Catapomb Records.
It's from France, Catapomb Records.
Yeah. Tomorrow, a lot of news in our social media about it.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I'm going to make sure that I get a copy of it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Absolutely, you will.
Awesome. I want to take a moment and look at some of the audience questions. There's a few of them here, and we're starting to run out of time, unfortunately, so I want to get to that. So let's see what we've got here. Okay. This question comes from Sarah Lou 3000. Ask Roto about his dad participation in one of their videos.
Yes,
Okay, what's the question?
About your dad participation on the videos.
Okay. Yeah, but what you want to know?
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, why is your dad in the videos?
Okay, my dad is a fucking famous chopper in this city. He has a fucking big motorcycle. And we wanted to show him because he has a really nice look. So I asked him and he was really proud to be there.
And actually, the Nun that appears in the video of Camino al Infierno is my aunt. It's my mom's sister. And we are inviting them to appear in the videos as well. So that's a funny fact.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's pull up another question here. Dolly Quintala says, when will you be back in the States? I have that same question.
Hard question.
Right.
Yeah, the thing is that, well, I didn't came in the last tour. I needed to hire, let's say, a different bass player because I got rejected for my visa. So right now we are working again for it. I'm going to try to get it. And we're going to be there soon. But even if I can get it, they're going to be there for sure. Acidez need to keep going, you know?
Yeah, Tupa and I have talked about this last year, because I definitely want to play with you guys at some point. So I was asking him, like, when the fuck are you guys going to come to the States? And he's like, I wish I knew. But hopefully you guys can get that sorted out soon and make your way over here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're
We're going
to
to do it.
That is
For sure.
For me, for us, I think is one dream to share a stage with you guys.
Yeah.
One of our
Pleasure. Our biggest dreams, actually.
It'll happen. I'm sure it will happen. Okay, one more audience question here. This also comes from Sarah Lou 3000. It says, Sodi was the Axl Rose from the university. Ask them to talk about it. All girls, we fell in love with him.
Yeah.
Well, he was wearing a red mohawk, a long, really long mohawk, and he used to wear the bandana. So maybe they're saying that he's similar
He was
to Axl
like
Rose.
he has a style like a glam metal.
Yeah, but he actually, well, he's not here yet. He used to be glam punk rocker guy for a few shows. So.
We have one guest here. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry.
Hello.
Elisai.
It's a really good friend. He just came from China.
he went to live to China,
Wow.
so
He's
he's here.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's a surprise for us.
let's keep with the questions. Yeah. He said one girl
All
that
right.
you were the Axl Rose from the university. I was, yeah. Yeah, in the early years, yeah, when I was like skinny and all that shit. Yeah.
That brings me to a question. What do you guys think about the newest singles that Guns N' Roses have released?
I never hear.
I love Guns N' Roses, but I didn't knew that they released like a new single.
Yeah, so they have 2 new singles out. The first one's called Absurd, and the other one is can't remember the fuck. Hard School, I think, is what it's called. And apparently, like, Absurd was part of like the whole Chinese democracy recording process that didn't get put out. And then they went back in with Duff and Axl to like add, you know, their twist on it with their guitars. And then Hard School, I think, was like an older GNR song that they decided to record during Chinese democracy. Also, it didn't get released, and same thing, they had Duff and Slash go in there and like rework it.
Gonna check it out. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's on Spotify and YouTube. You know, the first one that they put out, again, it's called Absurd. I just don't understand it. Like, I've been a fan of Guns N' Roses since I was probably 5 years old, because I remember seeing them on MTV when I was just a little kid. And I always loved that band, just because, you know, they were just so extreme, and like, especially compared to a lot of the other like glam bands from the time, like they were the band that looked like they were gonna like kick your ass and fuck your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this whole like new era of Guns N' Roses, I can't get behind it.
I think it's because, you know, when you stop that much or that long, you know, they're fired. They've been into different bands, so maybe it's difficult to reconnect. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and for me, just like, you know, I'm a purist for that band, and I just feel like without Steven Adler on drums and without Izzy on guitar, it's missing the magic.
Of course.
You know, I mean, it's kind of crazy that band has been so successful off of technically 2 records. I mean, I know Use Your Illusion is a double album, but it's technically 2 records that like the world knows. And like they're still selling out, you know, arenas and shit, and like with, I don't know, a bunch of hired guns playing and everything. I don't get it.
Yeah, actually, something I don't know, but I feel related with the Skid Row when it was like Sebastian Bach in the past. I really love that era. I mean, I like as well the later on stuff, but I feel it was better. I don't know, different in some way. Maybe it can happen. I mean, even in thrash metal bands, it happened when they
fire the musicians and hire new ones. You know, it's coming like a new feeling, new kind of style of do the music. You know, to I don't know, it's different. I feel. It's actually one of the bands I hate is Guns N' Roses.
Why? Why do you hate them?
I don't know. I don't know. I hate it. I don't like. I prefer more the Motley Crue, for example. I hate Slash. I hate. You don't know what. Actually, I have to go to toilet because we are talking about Guns N' Roses. No, sí, cierto.
You need to go to take a shit.
Yeah.
An emergency.
Well, Motley Crue is, another one of those bands that when you're talking about that whole era, like they're definitely one of the standouts,
Yeah.
And I love like a lot of the riffs and everything that they use, especially on Girls, Girls, Girls. There's a lot of like bluesy but heavy riffs that are really cool. But it's another band that like I don't understand how. I mean, they're advertising this whole stadium tour for like the last 2 years, and like Vince Neil he's so out of shape, he can't sing, and I don't understand why people would even spend their money on a ticket to go see it. I mean, the last 2 times I saw them, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? I can't understand anything that he is attempting to sing, and he's only gotten worse since then. It's kind of a shame. I mean, like that they've just gone so downhill.
Yeah, it was really such a good band and really good singer. He was a fucking great singer. Actually, I saw them on 2008 because there was as well like a new generation of like glam metal scene, sleaze rock, let's say.
Yeah.
And I saw them and it was really good. I don't know later on what happened. I didn't hear that much of them, but yeah, I hear people talking about that he was out of shape, not singing really well. Yeah, he's old. He passed for a lot of shit, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, you guys look like you do something to keep in good shape. Do you guys think about that a lot? I mean, because your live show is so energetic, and to jump around like that for any length of time is challenging for sure. Do you guys make it a priority to work out every week?
Not really. Well, I'm trying to get on shape.
Not really.
Yeah, I'm trying.
This is
The key.
the key,
Yeah.
the fuel. Beer. Actually, just with beer.
Yeah, no, myself, I try to get into shape or at least to work out a little bit to be able to do all the shows in a proper way. I mean, I'm not really always jumping, but we really move in all the stage, let's say.
Right.
Change faces, everything. Like, yeah, it's energetic.
I think we take more care when we practice. It's more like practicing enough, so we can say that we have great shape to keep.
And even before the pandemic, we were like playing almost every weekend. So we always have something to do. It was
Yeah, actually, like in the last Europe tour, we play with GBH in Holland in one festival, and the drummer is the same drummer since a long time ago, and now he's like 50 something. I'm not sure about the really age, but he play really with energy. So I asked like, fuck, like I wish when I'm gonna be your age, and what is your secret? And he said, just enjoy, man. Just enjoy. Just
fucking moment, enjoy it and practice.
And yeah, it's like this. Like if you really enjoy at the time you play, you can. And me, for a drummer, sometimes it's difficult to because in the first songs you leave all your energy. If you are overexcited, after you are totally tired, so you need to focus your energy, like to move a lot, but to maintain one level, to to play all the set at the same with the same energy. But yeah, like me, I don't feel good if I play without moving. Like I need to, like, you transmit the energy and the people transmit their energy, so it's a really good exchange.
Yeah, actually, what he says is really important. If you feel the energy from the people, like they're really enjoying your show, you feel it, and then you make more about it, you know. And otherwise, if they're like a more like, I don't know, not really enjoying it, more steady, you even feel it, and you know, in a hard way. We work on that, of course. Right now, we don't really care. We're gonna do our job and focus and enjoy it ourselves first, you know. But yeah, it's really important, the energy from the people. It's really important.
Yeah, I can only imagine playing those festivals too, and the audience is so large, just the adrenaline rush that you get, even just from the moment that you walk on stage, compared to, you know, playing a smaller show. So yeah, I think you're right, you know, trying to kind of monitor your energy level so that you're giving that strong performance the whole time. A lot of it is breathing. You know, I focus on that all the time as a vocalist, just making sure that I'm not overexerting myself and just breathing properly. It really makes a huge difference.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, what I was trying to say is that there's even like friends from other bands that he always asks me like, you really like to play in a big stage? Because they always say like, I prefer to play in a small venue, you know, in a small stage. And yeah, I really enjoy a small stage. It's a different vibe because it's more.
Yeah, because you feel the energy of the people just next to you, like it's in the.
But I feel I really do prefer to play in a bigger stage, because when you really know how to handle it, when you really know how to sound in a big stage, it's a different feeling. It's something really huge, something great.
Absolutely. Okay, there's one more audience question, so let's check that out before we wrap things up. Okay. This again comes from Sarah Lou 3000. Ask them to talk about they found the Offspring guys in their show.
Oh yeah, we were in LA. We were playing a show. And do you remember, Rodo? What was the venue when we played in LA and we met the Offspring?
Rodo came back,
guitar player.
And the observatory.
Observatory, yeah, it was an observatory. We were just hanging over there, and we were, hey, that guy, who is that? And Rodo, hey, he's a fucking Offspring
guitar
player. Noodles.
Really?
And it results that his song is fan of us, of our band, and he came to bring his song.
He took the song to the show.
Yeah. And we're like, fuck, man, really? Man.
Actually, his song is a punk rocker with mohawk and street punk.
A street punk.
Nice.
And cheers if he's watching us as well.
If anybody else has a question for Acidez before we end this, now's the time to submit it. I saw somebody talking shit, complaining about us talking about GNR for too long. So if that person has something that they'd like to ask, tap that question mark icon on your screen so we can do that. And I wanted to ask you guys too, is there anything that you guys want to promote, or anybody that you want to shout out before we wrap this up?
Yeah, stay tuned to this Friday because the new album comes out. So worldwide, yeah. I hope this Friday you can listen to the album in all platforms. I hope. If not, buy it. And also keep your eyes open because this Friday the second single comes out too with the album. So it's a nice video because it shows all the history of the band. So it's gonna be great because the name of the song means.
Should we say?
Yeah, I already posted.
Okay.
It's Punk Saved My Life.
But in,
But in
Spanish.
yeah.
El punk salvó mi vida.
Yeah.
Para
So-
todos los pendejos que dicen que el punk los destruyó, a nosotros nos salvó, bola de pendejos.
We say-
for all the people say like punk rock gonna
Destroy us.
destroy you.
Well, for me,
you don't
it's,
gonna get nothing. Like we can make the example with punk rock. We are happy. We are in the most of
It
our
saved our
lives.
lives.
Also, we want to promote, like, we're gonna have a tour in Mexico, like, party release from the album, presenting the album, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Europe. A huge tour with 35 shows and like 10 or 12 festivals. And what else? Nothing more. So thanks for listening. Thanks for In Punk We Thrash.
All right. I have one more audience question come through. So let me pull that up and we'll answer that before we close out here. This comes from Morio Perpetua. Any plans to visit the Baltic states, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia?
Oh my God. I don't think so. This tour, no. We wish we could, but
Because it's summer, it's more difficult to get like small shows for us. Yeah. Everyone is gonna be in the how to say, the festivals and all that stuff. So that's why it's difficult to get the shows. But let's see, maybe next year we're gonna come back for a tour out from summer. So yeah, maybe we're gonna do it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys, for taking the time out of your day to be on this show and to hang out with me and to talk about punk, to talk about thrash, to talk about glam, all these things that we love. Really enjoyed talking with you guys.
Cheers, bro. Thank you.
cheers.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're missing something really important, remember?
What are we missing?
Something really important, something that you and me were talking about last year that we are going to do together with our bands.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure that we were going to go there, but since you brought it up, yeah.
You know that you want to say it, you say it.
We have plans to release a split with Acidez as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be perfect.
I agree. This conversation has been going on for, God, I think it's been over a year at this point.
Yeah, since the pandemic.
Yeah. And, you know, when we first started this conversation, you guys were right in the middle of your new record. We had started on our new record, and we were kind of trying to figure out, like, you know, what's the best way to move forward? Should we do the split thing first and then do the new record? I'm talking about on our end. But as it has worked out, and I think it's going to be for the better, you guys have your new record coming out. We're finishing ours right now. It should be out later this year. You guys have a lot of promoting to do for your new record. We've got a lot of promoting to do for our new record. But at some point, I don't know if it's going to be later this year or the next year, but as soon as possible, we are going to do a split with the Acidez. We can't wait to do it. And hopefully that's going to include tour dates as well. Time will tell.
Sign it.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again. Really enjoyed it. And we'll talk again soon in the near future for sure. And hopefully I can have you guys back on here for another episode to talk about, you know, whatever else is going on, tours to promote, festivals or whatever. With that, everyone watching, join us next week when my guest will be
The
Fires. They've got a new record coming out called War on the Streets. I can't wait to hear that too. Until then, this is In Punk We Thrash by Acidez to play us out. Later.
Later. Yeah.
Más mota.
Ay, yo voy con el killer, güey. Está bien, güey. Mira, váyanse preparando, hay mucho que ensayar, jóvenes. Váyanse.
¿Ya?
No llegar a ¿no?